Wow. He got on top of it, too.
I said eyeballs. It's actually above his helmet.
Yeah.
It's official. David Fletcher is a wizard. I still can't believe he's doing the things that he's doing. He came out of nowhere in 2019 and he has not stopped yet. Everyone loves this guy. But what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If you thought that was a funny clip, Will Myers. What was this swing? He hit it and then he thought to himself, I don't even know where the ball is. He figured it out and then he started running. One of the crazier things I've ever seen. We have a lot to talk about today. Gleyber Torres, he is out for the New York Yankees. We have a trade alert, the Boston Red Sox and the Phillies. The Phillies mainly picked up a lot of talent yesterday. And yeah, just so much to get into. Thank you guys for watching. If you don't have ESPN or MLB Network, this is the place to be. And without further ado, let's start talking baseball. Look at this graphic right here. The Yankees have literally lost 5 to 6 different All-Stars. Every single person on this list, I believe, has made an All-Star team once in the last couple years, and they are on the shelf right now. I will say Aaron Boone came out and said that Aaron Judge is pretty close, as well as Zach Britton, so they should be back in the next couple games. We have a trade alert, a big one in my opinion. Brandon Workman and Heath Hembree of the Red Sox are going to the Phillies in exchange for cash, Nick Pivetta, and then a prospect. I think his name is Connor Seabold. Now, apparently, a lot of people are giving high praise to Seabold, and a lot of people think that Pivetta could be a Jake Arrieta in the making, because we remember Jake Arrieta sucked with the Orioles. He went to the Cubs, and then they fixed him. So the Red Sox, they're hoping that they can get some luck in that department. But the Phillies picked up 3 different relief pitchers yesterday. Workman being the best. He actually had better stats than the reliever of the year in 2019, Aroldis Chapman. So Workman, he is going to be the real deal. Heath Hembree, he's going to be pretty solid as well. And then also, the Phillies pick up David Hale from the Yankees, and they send over Addison Russ. So just a lot of stuff happening, and I think the Phillies are going to be a lot better going forward, considering I think their bullpen ERA was 10, which was one of the worst that we've seen since 1955. 1955. For the first games that we'll talk about, we'll go ahead and highlight the Red Sox and the Phillies games, because obviously we were just talking about them. So the core guys for the Red Sox, they showed up and they reminded fans of what could have been if they did not trade Mookie Betts. They get their 3rd win in a row as Bogarts, Martinez, Devers, and Chavis all knock in a few RBIs, some of them home runs, some of them base hits, and then the bullpen almost blows it. So it's kind of funny how they trade away some of their best bullpen pieces, and then on the same day, the Red Sox bullpen almost implode. So I want you guys to let me know, what do you make of the rebuild process that is happening down in Boston? And then Max Fried, he is becoming a star right before our eyes. He makes the Phillies look silly in an 11-2 win as the offense erupts. Ozuna and Travis d'Arnaud erupt for 7 RBIs, and Camargo was all over the place. And of course, what happens? The Phillies bullpen, the day that they get smacked, they acquire the troops that they need to rally around and maybe make a playoff push. Is it going to happen? I have no idea, but they're pretty much the National League version of the Angels. A lot of offense, but terrible pitching. Now, speaking of trades, because that was the theme of today's video so far, I bet the Cubs would want this one back. Jose Quintana for Eloy Jimenez. He makes them pay again as the White Sox belt 6 home runs. Jose Abreu, Luis Robert, they get in on the action along with Eloy Jimenez. And then Dallas Keuchel looks like former Cy Young. Dallas Keuchel, he threw 8 innings, only allowed 1 earned run. That's impressive against a Cubs team. And that was the White Sox 6th win in a row. Now, another team that is on a 6-win train is the Toronto Blue Jays. They're officially above 500, and I don't know if this is going to stop anytime soon, because Lourdes Gurriel, his bat and defense are clicking. Randall Grichuk, even when he has an off day, the rest of the squad picks him up, because ESPN says that they have a 38% chance of making the playoffs. I don't know, man. When you have Jordan Romano with a .69 very nice ERA and the rest of the team playing and firing on all cylinders, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting home runs, Hyunjin Ryu and maybe Nate Pearson has a few good starts in a row, they can make a playoff push. I see it. Or maybe I'm just being optimistic. I have no idea. Walker Buehler finally turns in his first dominant start of the season. He Ks up 11 just the day after Clayton Kershaw K'd up 11. They beat the Rockies 5-1, and they are the first team in Major League Baseball to secure 20 Ws. Now, lots of Dodgers got in on the action. 4 different players drove in runs, but this was one of the few games that they did not leave the yard. The Rockies, they have lost 5 games in a row and are now 2-8 in their last 10. So my early season predictions of the Rockies not being that great, it's finally coming to fruition, because at first I was like, oh man, I was really wrong about the Rockies. They're not that good.
Machado lines it into left field for a base hit. Grisham coming around trying to score. The throw from Tucker is going to be cut off. In the air to right field. Springer going back at the wall. That ball is going to be off the wall. On the ground softly towards second base. It is Garcia to first, and the Padres win.
Slam Diego has officially stopped the Houston Astros train. I think they were on an 8 or 9 game winning streak. Machado spearheads the offense with his 4th consecutive multi-hit game, and then you have Jake Cronenworth, a double that proves huge as Emilio Pagan closes out the game. Now, before we get into the rest of the games, I quickly want to show a few web gems. We have one from Kevin Pillar, we have one from Trevor Story, and then also Scott Kingery had some awesome catches yesterday, and these guys, they've always been great on defense. Also, I think there's one from Hunter Renfroe. Looks like a football player out here trying to juke someone or jump over a defender.
Into right field, cutting toward the line. Renfroe, he made the catch. Renfroe
is sky toward right center. That's going to curl toward Kingery, who got a good jump. Look at that ball carry. It is up against the wall, and Kingery.
3-2. That's hit to right field. Long run for Pillar. And Pillar all out into foul territory to make the play.
That's a pickup for the Red Sox. And boy, you lose Mookie Betts, you think you lose a lot, and you do from an offensive standpoint, but I don't know about a defensive standpoint.
It's inevitable. You're going to go through a difficult period, and the Rockies suffering through one right now. How about that play? Whoa, what a play by Story.
Indians smacked around the Tigers yesterday, and then the Tigers answered back with a smacking of their own. Scope goes yard for one of the more majestic home runs of the season, and then Isaac Paredes, he looks downright terrifying. My grandpa and I were talking about how we're going to have to face this kid for the next decade. His first ever home run is a grand slam, and then Victor Reyes tacks on a home run of his own. The Indians were going for win number 21 in a row against the Tigers, so good on them. The Tigers were definitely due. And the other Ohio team, they finally get a great game from the bullpen. The Reds, they get a great start from Descalfani, and Matt Davidson gets a pinch hit grand slam, his 3rd of the season, and then Raisel Iglesias shuts it down in the 9th inning. Just a lot of good teams playing well. That's all that you can really say.
And on 2-0, he hits a high fly ball that goes deep to left field. Soto turns around, and welcome back Miguel Rojas.
In the beginning weeks of the season, Miguel Rojas was the hottest hitter on planet Earth, and then he contracted COVID, but in his first AB back, he smacks a 3-run bomb to give the Marlins a W and stay above 500, and also put some respect on Eliezer Hernandez's name. I hope I said that right. With that win, he sits at a 2.29 ERA and 25 strikeouts and 19.2 innings pitched, and he's not owned in a lot of fantasy leagues, so if he's free, go get him right now. Robbie Ray and Matthew Boyd are 2 of the most confusing pitchers in all of baseball, because he can be dominant one day and also suck in his next start, because yesterday he had 8 Ks in 5 innings, which is good, but he also gave up 4 earned runs and a 6-2 loss against the Giants as Evan Longoria drives home Wilmer Flores for his 300th career home run. I wanted to give him a quick round of applause because some of you young guys might not know Evan Longoria was once a superstar. And then also, I forgot to mention that Joey Bart made his debut. He had a bases loaded walk yesterday for his first RBI. The Giants are now on a 4-game win streak thanks to Logan Webb, who got a W. He's been pitching pretty well. Matt Olson finally gets his first double of the season, and the A's put up 3 in the first, and it was all A's from there. Mike Fiers gets the W, and the A's are now sitting at 19-8, whereas the Angels are 8-19. Just absolutely unreal. Again, they're the American League version of the Phillies because they rake. Anthony Rendon is hitting almost 600 in his last 7 games, and Pujols is 1 RBI away from passing A-Rod for the 2nd most RBIs of all time. So make sure you guys pay attention to Pujols because that is history in the making. I mean, the Angels and the Phillies are just super confusing. I thought that they were going to be so much better. The Mariners, they have a Rookie of the Year candidate, probably going to win Rookie of the Year. Kyle Lewis continues to rake. And then also their pitcher, Nick Margevicius. I don't know how to say his name. I mean, he had a good start against the Rangers yesterday. And then Austin Nola is surprisingly now up to 14 RBIs. And also, can we get more camera angles like this, please? These are awesome, and I think that it really promotes the game of baseball as a more progressive game. I'm down for this.
First and second. That ball is smacked deep to left. That's a way back and gone.
Goes at first.
And that ball is a goner for Hunter Dozier. And the Royals have a 7-1 lead.
And then the final 2 games from yesterday, we have the Royals beating the Twins yet again. The Royals have been the Twins' father this year, as Jorge Soler and Hunter Dozier, they combined for 6 RBIs. And then last but not least, I want to just say shout out to Brian Reynolds for saving all of his magic for the game against the Brewers. He goes 3 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. And I completely forgot that Chad Kuhl was still playing. He gets his first win in 2 years. And then just a quick note about the Brewers, 6 of their 9 hitters are hitting 209 and below. That's not going to cut it. All right, everyone. Well, that is going to do it for today's MLB recap. I'm hoping that in the next few days we can get more dramatic headlines, because these are pretty much just baseball highlights. Nothing really spicy is happening. But I hope that you guys enjoyed all the trade talk and all of the injury updates and everything else in between the web gems. Now let's go ahead and get into this day in MLB history. Stay safe out there, guys.
Right field and deep. And it's gone. A 3-run home run for Vasquez. Texas has put 30 runs on the board. 30 runs.